Hi, it's Micky Dolenz here. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.
Wowzers. Today is the 7th, February the 7th. It is now 9:38 a.m. And this episode is chock full of synchronicities. You can definitely tell the through line between when I start speaking about the synchronicities and when you will actually witness when those synchronicities come to play. You'll hear me interviewing an Uber driver. You'll hear some crazy stuff up on the roof at the Coach House when Yächtley Crëw played. Wow. Without further ado, let's turn back the hands of time and listen to another episode of Inspirado Projecto. Thank you for listening. Good day to you. The time is now 9:36. How cool is that? 936. Tesla talks about how those numbers 9, 3, and 6 or 3, 6, 9 are living numbers. They're alive. They're an entity unto themselves. They do magical things. And that's the time it is right now, and it's February 4th. I'm heading on up to the post office to deliver a package for my little nephew out in Tennessee. And so tonight, Yächtley Crëw has a show at the Coach House in the San Diego region. Our load-in time is 2 p.m. And looks like we got a lot of great dates for shows coming up this year. So who knows? We might come rolling on through your town. By the way, you're listening to Inspirado Projecto. Thank you for listening. We cover a wide variety of topics here. I was emailed something from Anchor, which is owned by Spotify. You know, Anchor was bought up by Spotify. Spotify wanted to become like the biggest podcast, network out there. And so I was grandfathered into that, or grandmothered into it. And one of the things is, because I've been with Anchor for such a long time, which, by the way, that's what I'm using right now to talk to you on. That's why we're able to experience such ambiance. It's an app that you just download right on your phone, and you just talk right into your phone, and now you've got a podcast. You don't need all this crazy fancy equipment in order to make a podcast these days. And it distributes out to all kinds of places. iTunes, Amazon Music, all kinds of places. Spotify, of course. So one of the things now, since I've been with Anchor, not since the beginning, but pretty close, they offered me the opportunity to start uploading videos to Spotify. I'm still curious how this works. How people are able to see it on Spotify. Personally, to tell you the truth, I don't have a Spotify account, or at least one that's paid for. So I don't know if the videos are something that people who pay for Spotify are able to see, or I don't know how that works. But if you're listening to this on any other sort of podcast listening device, you're not going to be able to see the video. Who knows? I would not put it past the techies of today to be able to make that a possibility. So I just uploaded my interview with the Chris Store interview that I had during the Kapow Intergalactic virtual film festival that we did during quarantine last year. February, actually. Whoa, it's almost going to be a year. Whew, almost a year. So I interviewed some of these people, some of these extraordinary filmmakers, and also some very other interesting people. And in that category of very other interesting people is Chris Store. And so I had Corporal 13, who's from Chris Store. I had him on the show. And by the way, if you want to know what Crystore Inc. is, go to CrystoreInc.com. I'll spell it for you. CRYSTOREINC.com. So Corporal 13 from Crystore Inc., he was the guest, and we were hacked in by the Human Resources, General Manager of Human Resources, Hugh, from their arch rivals called Crizztorch. And so that was a very fun interview, and I already uploaded the audio of this to Spotify. So this is what I'm saying, is that audio is already out there. It's been out there for months and months. You will notice that this interview is on Spotify yet once again, both in video format, but also they convert it into audio format. So if you're listening to this on, whatever podcast app you're listening to, you're hearing that. So that was a lot of fun. It's great to know that that's out there now, and people are able to see what these crazy folks look like, and you'll be able to see the dynamics of and the facial expressions. It's always great to be able to see facial expressions and see how people react to things. And I just get such a kick out of it. So you'll be able to see that if you're listening to that on Spotify. So yeah, I'm very excited about Yächtley Crëw playing tonight at the Coach House, because last time we played there, I met just a wonderful spirit in the office there. Her name is Mary. Mary, Mary, where you going to? Believe it or not, that's the original version. That's the Monkees version. Later on, it was remade into a hip-hop version that goes, Mary, Mary, why you bugging? Or something like that. So, Mary, I met her, and I was just like, whoa, you are so familiar to me. So familiar to me. That vibe, that spirit. When you meet people and you go, you are so familiar. Where do I know you from? How do I know you? How many past lives have we known each other in? And wowzers. So today is day number 5 or 6 of doing the meditation of the Transformative Shifting Cube by Bashar. If you email me at inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com, if you email me there, I'll send you a PDF of this exercise. If you're into manifestation of reality, and you love synchronicities, and I would suggest doing this exercise. I've been doing it every morning I wake up. And for the past 5 days, I've been experiencing a vast amount of synchronicities. And on top of that, great news from people that completely indirectly reflects my my highest preference, my passions, my excitement, my joy. Hello, cool dog. This woman is walking along with her dog, and the dog is like a big bear. It's so cute. Here comes another guy with another cute dog. So I would suggest doing the Transformative Shifting Cube. It's crazy, because if you do that for like a month, it doesn't even take a month, but sometimes it takes people a month to do it, because sometimes it takes people longer than others, because they have to scrub out resistance. I think that's the key to it, scrubbing out resistance and making room for the allowance of these magical events to occur. And the more we do that, the more we become a receiver. Like a radio. You receive those frequencies, bam. You receive the good vibes. You receive the synchronicities. You receive the confirmations that your intentions are growing right there before your very eyes. And you're able to chart that, I like to call it the umbilical cord. You're able to chart that breadcrumb trail, that umbilical cord. When that thing happens to you in your life, you're able to go, okay, it stems from this. From that moment in time when I said this or I did this. And it's just so cool, because, oh man, I'm going to have I've been meeting some extraordinary people on TikTok to interview on Inspirado Projecto. Extraordinary people. And one of them is the woman who I interviewed about her extraterrestrial abductions ever since the age of 6, and continued on to this day, and all the insight that she received. There's another woman who I can give the name of, Lisa. She's another person that I met on TikTok in the comment sections, and who also has a very, very, very unique experience. And that, of course, that involves extraterrestrials and also a whole bunch of other things. And I was talking to her the other day. She goes, I woke up in the morning, and it was at 6:30. Interesting as that, 6 and 3. I woke up at 6:30, and immediately I started getting all of this information to give to you. And so she just started taking all these notes. And I was blown away by what I was reading in her email. And so we talked probably for, what was it, 2 hours and 26 minutes or 24 minutes. Can't remember that number, but that angel number, you look up the meaning, and everything that meaning is completely fit into exactly everything that was going on in that conversation. There were so many synchronicities, so many things that she had just, was sort of instructed to tell me. And these things were just going bam, 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 bing, 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 like at the carnival when they got those furry little clown faces on the back wall, and you got to throw like a wiffle ball at them, knock them down. That's what it was. These things were just going bing, 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 just knocking them down. And upon further research, I started noticing, because there were some things that she had brought up to me that were just kind of sort of loose ends, so to speak. That information that I had yet to make connections to, so to speak. So once I did the research on the other topics, mainly, I'll just say this, Terpsichore. Have you heard of Terpsichore? She's a Greek muse. Look up Terpsichore. Terpsichore. Look her up and see if anything about her applies to you, because it definitely applies to me. And apparently I've worked in many past lives with Terpsichore. And so she came through Lisa saying, ask Kurt to invite me to co-create with him again. So that's what I've been doing. And as I went deeper down the rabbit hole into the research of this stuff, I started finding other elements. I started finding the exact elements and symbols of the very things that were going on in the conversation of those loose ends that I just talked about, that I didn't necessarily have a connection to. Suddenly, there was the connection. All I had to do was, it was like inviting you. It was like, here are some breadcrumbs. Just see what you discover. And as I continued to just follow the trail, follow the intuition, I just kept coming across just like a wonderful treasure trove of information. And so I'm looking forward to seeing her again today when I go to the coach house. I can't wait to see what kind of portals open. Oh my gosh, the post office is open already. It's not even supposed to open until 10. All right, I'll talk more in a little bit. Thanks for listening to Inspirado Projecto. All right, okay. That mission was very, very fast, I would say. It was my first time using one of those kiosks. Have you ever used the kiosk? They ask you all kinds of questions. Good news is they do have measuring things on there, so you can measure stuff. You don't have to bring your own ruler. So, getting back to the Bashar, transformative shifting cube, the way that it's evolving these extraordinary events in my life, terpsichore. How do you pronounce it? Terpsichore? Some people call it terpsichore. I've been trying to look up these. I've been looking up various pronunciations online, and there was something where I guess I've never been to New Orleans, but out there they've got a lot of these these streets named after Greek gods, and so one of them is terpsichore, and so everybody's got a different pronunciation of that, and I suppose it's like anything. My first name is Kurt, so I'm sure anybody can call me Kurt or Kurt. Remember when I used to work at Wendy's growing up, the guys who worked there, they called me Kurt. Hello, Kurt. I thought, wow, that's cool. I've never heard that version before. That's cool. So I've been noticing more and more of these synchronicities evolving. I'm also reading there's a new Mr. Rogers book that my brother got me for Christmas I believe it's called Hello Neighbor. I don't have it in front of me. I'm still coming back from the post office. And it talks about the life and times of Mr. Rogers growing up. And it's so astounding when you can chart. This is why biographies and autobiographies are so great when it's right there in plain sight, the exact ways in which they manifested their own realities. And so when you see Fred Rogers as a little boy and certain things that he was interested in, and the directions in which his heart moved him to go, it makes perfect sense when you look at his television show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and you see, aha, here's this element, here's that element, here's this element, here's that element. And each of these, like when you look through his life, you're noticing that each of these things are oh my God, I just saw a sign here for improv classes. Wow, there we go. Maybe this is a sign. But you look through his life and you see exactly all of these things that he was excited about as a little kid, all the things that were very important to him, and all of those pieces of information were later put into his television show. And a lot of the stuff that Mr. Rogers was doing as a child is very reflective of what was going on with Andy Kaufman. So you look at these geniuses and the ways that they move through life and their unique sensibilities of getting to the root of authenticity and, or rather offering people to examine their own authenticity, rather. And you start going, whoa, that's quite interesting. And then you can kind of look at your own life and go, what ways, and you examine it, and you go, what ways in my life are the things that I'm doing now directly related to the things that happened to me growing up? One of the things that I've noticed is that any of the empaths that I've known, usually they're empaths, I think, because it's tied to the ways that they were born, that they were grown up, that they were the things that happened in their childhood. In a lot of these cases, at least in every case that I've discovered so far, these people were, went through severe trauma, whether they were beaten, whether they were, I don't know. Maybe they worked in a shoe factory as a kid. I don't know. Whatever the thing was, there's some trauma that happened in their life, and it enabled them to sort of pop out of this. This is my theory, is that it sort of inspired them to pop out of this sort of 3D kind of existence and grow a much closer relationship to just the earth, the universe as we know it. Many of these empaths are tarot card readers, oracles. They use divining rods, the pendulums, whatever it is. I would say the folks who know how to communicate and receive visions from these otherworldly realms, I would say it's probably a good idea to lean in a little bit closer and listen to what they're talking about. And rather than dismiss it as something silly, because the popular opinion might say so, this is an awesome opportunity for you to, well, apply it. If there's even a tiny hint of what they're saying that feels like it resonates with you in some way, where you go, you know what? Gosh, what they're saying really it makes sense to me as I'm listening to this. And yeah, it's, and a lot of times you might find yourself going back in your brain and going, well, what would my organization, what would my I don't know, choose your identity, I guess. What would my political party say about this? What would my church organization say about this? They would probably shun that, or, I would get canceled on Twitter for saying something like that. So in that moment, you get to decide, okay, what thoughts are my own? What really is something that resonates with me? And what is something that I'm just going to go ahead and recycle the information of that I heard from someone else? So if that resonates with you, then I would say dive into that. Research it. See what more is there. It could be an indicator from the universe saying, hey, maybe studying these things will open up bigger aspects of yourself, more powerful revelations, sharper intuition. And then just apply it. The true knowledge, the truest stuff is coming from experience. It's coming from stories from those who have, gone through the thing, not those who are just simply repeating what they're hearing. So when I'm speaking to you, for instance, about things that happen in my own life, I can only speak to you about those things because I actually applied them and I tried them to my life. Otherwise, I would only be repeating to you what my favorite teachers have taught to me. Yes, I do that sometimes as well. And at the same time, I go, how true is this thing? Can I put this into my own experience? And if you see results, I would say continue trying that. Continue trying that. It's like the difference between being a bodybuilder and a person who knows all about bodybuilding. When you try it, when you actually put into action what the bodybuilder with the experience is telling you, when you actually put that in action, and you can actually see that person applying something and gaining momentum in a certain direction, that's something to consider. Everything has momentum to it. There's a pendulum. When something swings so far in one direction, it swings that much harder in the opposite direction. So just know that when you got momentum going, particularly if it's something that's helping you out, something that's good, something that's enlightening, that raises your vibration level, that inspires the populace around you. What is the harm in doing more of that? I would say there's no harm. It's the difference between eating chocolate donuts every single day and wondering, why is it hard for me to get up off the couch? Difference between that and eating healthy things, healthy foods. And you go, ooh, this is good. I can breathe easier. I got a clearer brain, etc., etc. So, coming up to the place now. I'll talk to you more later. I just got back home. Okay, so I went on a TikTok just to see what kind of comments are out there. This woman told me to check out her TikTok because it explains all the different clairs. And I'll explain. Maybe this resonates with you. If so, I would not be surprised. Clairvoyance, which means intuitive vision, the ability to gain visual telepathic information that others can't see. Clairaudience, which means clear hearing, the power to hear sounds from the spirit world. Clairsentience, which means clear feeling, empathic sense emotions. Claircognizant means clear knowing, intuitive inner knowing, you just know. Clairalliance, which means clear smelling, suddenly smelling something that has symbolic meaning to you. Clairgustance, which means clear taste, the ability to taste without actually putting anything into your mouth. And then this one is covered up. Clairagnancy, which means clear touch. Psychometry, the ability to receive information by touch. So, these are things that just might resonate with you. And if they do, I'd love to hear about them. Email me at inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com. I would love to know. Thank you. This is incredible. So moments before, you just picked up another guy named Kurt.
Yeah, the same name from Georgia, but first time he's coming to California.
What?
He said today my birthday.
Oh my gosh!
Enjoy, my friend. I say okay. I give it the guys the gift because I'm making gift. I have a laser machine engraving.
Oh, that's great.
I'm making. I said, kid, this is for you for your birthday gift. I said, oh, thank you. You give me 20. I said, no, just for you. I said, no, please. I said, you're the nice guy. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I love this synchronicity here, man. This means it's going to be a very good day, right?
Oh, yeah.
It means it's going to be a very good day.
You say, thank you, my first time. You're good guys. I said, no.
Wow, man.
I said, again, this guy. Okay, let's go.
Oh my gosh, that must have been so crazy.
I want to text you. I say, kid, I'm coming. I say, maybe the other guy the same name.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love stories like this. It's
very nice guy.
Wow. And so he just arrived from Georgia, and today was his first day in town?
Imagine.
Wow, man.
I think so. The guy's over 65 years.
Holy cow.
The guy. 65 years. It's my first time coming to California. I love the weather. Today, enjoy my day, my birthday. I'm my friends.
Oh my gosh.
Going to restaurant.
Oh my gosh.
So for how many days or 1 week? I said, oh my God, enjoy your birthday, bro.
Oh wow, what a
very nice guy.
What a cool thing. And wow, this is so crazy because yesterday was my brother's birthday.
Oh really?
And then on February 1st was my mom's birthday. So this is another interesting synchronicity that you're bringing up here.
Really?
This is so interesting. So what do you like? How do you like driving Uber so far? I bet you meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah. This is my second job, actually.
What's your other job?
I have a laser machine.
Oh, the laser machine. How's that going?
Oh, that's cool.
Is that really cool?
I give it to you, the other gift for you.
Oh, no, I don't want to take his gift. I don't want to take his gift, but I will take a look at it.
No, take it.
Are you serious?
Are you?
Thank you for this, man.
Yeah.
So you did this yourself,
Yeah.
huh? You got a laser machine?
I'm making in the cut or engraving. All
Oh
of
my gosh.
my
this
my
is...
Instagram in the backside.
Oh, good.
Hello Gifts.
I'll check you out, man.
I'm making very, very unique custom gifts for wood, acrylic, cardboard, no metal. I'm making the event gifts, trophy, awards for company, indoor signs, not big signs, just very unique and custom appreciate gifts, trophy.
Oh
So
my
sometimes
gosh.
I have a making the gift with my car for any nice guy or talking.
This-
you good guy.
Look
Okay, give
at
it to you.
this, man. Look at the way that it's like, it's so detailed, man.
This is my design for.
This is amazing. So you figured out how to write out every single one of these.
Oh yeah, one by one I'm drawing for Corel Draw.
Oh my gosh.
But my laser, the best laser machine in the world.
And it could go that tiny. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man. This is amazing, this little USA magnet, because
Yeah.
it's got, I bet you if I pulled out the magnifying glass, I can see every single word that you wrote on here.
Oh yeah.
These are so tiny, man. I can tell you spent a lot of time putting this together. Wow. This is really admirable.
I hope you like it, bro.
This is really cool, man. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. This is astounding.
Of course.
I feel like it's my birthday today. This is great. Oh my gosh. Wow, man. Well, there's
when I have an order, no drive.
There's,
no order, I'm driving.
Right.
Like actually, for this car, I'm drive luxury too as a Mercedes.
Uh-huh.
But it's okay because I'm find a lot of customer for driving.
Oh,
I
right.
give the business card, I give the gift. Not for everybody, of
Right.
course. Sometimes, I don't know, somebody don't appreciate that, but
Right.
it is what it is. No complaint.
Yeah. The good vibes,
But
right?
I'm
The good
trying my
vibes.
best. I'm best drive, I'm best gift.
Well, you're doing a great job of it, man. You know, you're spreading the positivity, you're spreading the good vibes out there in the world, and that's, you know, that's all you can do. And that's the best thing to do if you think about it. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. This is a really cool way to start the day. It's a really cool way to start the day. Holy cow, man. Wow. Let's see.
A lot of people, I don't know, they complain or something. I say, you know what? Life is short. Enjoy your life.
Yes.
Happy every day. Thanks God every day. It is what it is. I'm Armenian. I'm Persian Armenian.
Here, I'm going to give you some stickers. This is the band that I'm in.
Oh, really?
If you have any kids who like stickers
Oh,
or skateboards
thank you,
or anything.
brother.
So today we're playing.
If you need your logo, this logo
Oh,
for
yeah.
magnet, you can
Ooh.
email me,
Ooh.
or I can make a keychains too.
Oh, wow. I love it. I
If
love
you
it.
look my Instagram, I think you like it.
Oh, yeah. I will check
I'm
it
making
out.
very unique gifts for 20 pieces, 10 pieces, doesn't matter.
Wow.
For any.
Oh, that was the street. Yes, but that's okay. That's okay.
Can I keep going? Or?
Well, you might have to turn around because it's kind of a tiny little street. But so the name of your Instagram is ELO Gifts. ELO
ELO
Gifts.
Gifts.
I love
Hello.
it.
My daughter name, she's Eileen.
Oh, I love
say, okay, my daughter, my manager right now.
it.
Yeah, she studied the
I
UC
love
San
it.
Diego.
I love it.
But I'm 29 years experience my country. Over there, run my brother and my sister over there. But I'm start here 6 years ago.
Wow.
Thanks God, I have a good customers. But I like the driving for find the good guys. Sometimes I have a tree company. I pick up the owner. Oh, I give it to you magnet. They call me after almost 6 years working with me. Oh, very nice guy.
Wow.
But for company it's good because the good order. 200 pieces, 300 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah,
This is
it's
so exciting. You could drop me off right by this fence here. This is great.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh my gosh. You are awesome, man. What's your name?
Rubik Cube. You remember?
Really?
Rubik.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Rubik Cube. Of course. Wow, man. Rubik, hey, man. It was a
you.
pleasure meeting you, brother. It was a pleasure
you,
meeting
thank
you. You have a good day, man. Oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that interesting? I was just saying earlier in the podcast about how people's pronouncing my name differently. Oh my gosh, so exciting, so exciting. Wow, we'll talk more later. Oh my gosh. I'm waiting outside of the Philly's house. I was just dropped off after encountering that extraordinary synchronicity. I had to get that. I had to record that exchange really quick. I mean, look at this. We were talking about synchronicities earlier in the day. I mean, this miraculosity happens. My gosh. Incredible. So this magnet he gave me as a gift, which he gave the other Kurt, which is his birthday today. This is in the shape of the United States flag. It has USA written on it. It's laser cut. And then it has all of the, I mean, in addition to having all the names of the states on each of the states, it's got some of the names of the towns. And this is tiny. I'm talking tiny. I'm squinting right now. So there's California, and then in there you see Oakland, San Francisco, Irvine, and it's like the names of these fall right in line, like they're right along the borders of these places. It's there's New Mexico, Albuquerque, Laredo, Waco. I mean, gosh, so many of these. Texas, there's Corpus Christi, Houston, San Antonio, Dallas. It gets tinier. I mean, this lettering is so tiny. Now I'm getting the sugar plums dancing in my head. I'm thinking, I'm wondering. I'm putting out the vibes out there to the universe for the universe to figure out. It would be fun to see how the universe figures out how to incorporate this into what's going on, into my highest preferences, etc., etc., etc. Because this is just like nuts, man. It's nuts. Never underestimate your power to, evolve these sorts of amazing situations into your life. Never underestimate that power. Always, well, let's just say overestimate it. How about we go to the other side of the coin? Overestimate the power of your ability to manifest. It'd be interesting. This just popped into my mind. It'd be interesting to go to areas where typically there's poverty or ghettos, I suppose, for the lack of a better word. You go to those areas where these people are they're downtrodden. They got just not in very high spirits. And to, meditate with them, to activate their excitement, to get them into that mode into that vibration of excitement, joy, self-empowerment, and then to intentionally manifest with them and to check up with them, have them write down. See, this is interesting. Well, I was just going to say, if you do the transformative shifting cube with them, the Bashar's transformative shifting cube, which is another interesting thing. What was the name of that Uber driver? His name was, he goes, Rubik, like Rubik's Cube. That's what the transformative shifting exercise looks like. It looks like a Rubik's Cube. It's like, it's a 2D drawing, but the way that you look at it, I think what I'll do is in the show notes in the description here, I'll put the PDF. I'll put a copy of the PDF into the description so you can test it out yourself. And if you're open to experimentation, if you're open to just like something that Bashar talks about, play with your life like it's clay. Play like it's clay. Our reality, our personal reality experiences, that's sculptable. So when you get in that mode of going, hey, what if? Wouldn't that be funny if? Let's try this. It's interesting. Here's another interesting synchronicity. So I saw this TikTok where, what was it? Someone said, they said something like, it was a comment. Was it a comment? I don't know. Something like this where someone said, I put out the intention, wouldn't that be fun? Or it'll be fun to see how the universe manifests $1,000 into my bank account each week. And so the person said, sure enough, within a week or so, I ended up landing my dream job, and I'm making $1,400 net each week. And I thought, wow, that's great. So I started just saying, wow, that'll be so much fun to see how the universe manifests $1,000 or more into my bank account each week that is reflective of my highest joys, preferences, excitements, and what the stuff the stuff that's important to me, my passions, my talents, all that stuff. And the next day I got another residual in the mail from the Blues Brothers. And these checks are not thousands of dollars by any means. They're more like $30, maybe $50 at this point anyway. And I think the amount that I got was I'll take a look at it again, but it was like I don't know, it was like 200 or not, no, it was like $20 and something, but just the way that the numbers were, I recognized significance in it. I think maybe if I added it up together, it came out to be 8 or something. I love 8 because it's infinity. And so what was interesting was I had that residual earlier in the day, then I went on to Instagram, and just right there in my feed, I didn't even search for it. I'm following the official Blues Brothers Instagram. And just right there in my feed, they uploaded a photo of John Belushi on Lake Wakanda standing next to a woman in her bathing suit. And that's where I met John Belushi as a small child, my mom and I. On Lake Wakanda. That was the exact same lake. So to see that specific old photo on that specific lake with John Belushi looking the way that I remember seeing him as a child, it's just incredible. It was exciting. It was like, all right, this is good. And then I had an extraordinary conversation with my friends Lizette and Ashley about a project. And I met them through actually the Kapow Intergalactic Virtual Film Festival in 2021. I met them virtually. And then since then I've met them once physically. Just such great spirits. And so then I heard that good news. It'll just keep pouring in when you open up yourself to it. And that's funny too when you think about that. The Rubik's Cube. It's the idea of a Rubik's Cube. It's taking all of these different, it's like a defragment your computer or something. you got all these fragments of all these colors all over there, and you go, okay, let's bring you into this spectrum. Okay, let's bring you into that spectrum. All right, all the yellows, let's bring you over here. All the greens, let's bring you over here. And that's what this transformative shifting cube actually is kind of like, if you think about it. You're taking all these fragments of yourself, and you're joining it into one avenue, even though it's a bunch of different colors, so to speak. Whether it be, so you do the cube with the idea of saying, because at the end, you repeat a phrase that says, from the inner being, through sight, sound, touch, and feeling, are manifested the paths, windows, and doors to the unknown, which always leads back to the inner being. How cool is that? From the inner being to the inner being. From the inner being, through sight, sound, touch, and feeling, are manifested the paths, windows, and doors to the unknown, which always lead back to the inner being. Right back in there. So you're taking all those little spectrums, all those little fragments, and going, it's my inner being that's creating this. It's only an illusion of it being something outside of me, but really everything here is a reflection of me. Wow. I'm really curious to see what other kinds of astounding synchronicities are going to happen tonight, especially when I start talking to Mary and her friend who's coming in from out of town. Oh, and I heard this. Mary told me that Wee Man from Jackass called up and ordered 8 tickets. Well, I'm wondering who those 8 people are. Who are those 8 people going to be? That's something to think about, isn't it? I think earlier that day, or no, I can't remember if it was before she told me that, before she sent me a text about that, or after, but I remember seeing there's something. Oh, that's what it was. They were showing, that's what it was. It was, that's what it was. It was on Twitter. It was a scene from the new Jackass, where his buddies are pouring like honey on him and putting like fish around him. And he's in a room. And then they open up a door and it's a bear. I don't know why you'd put your friend in danger like that. And he's all tied up to the chair. But main point is, remember that song? Reflections of the way life used to be. I've always loved that song. That was the theme song for the beginning of Tour of Duty. No. China Beach. China Beach. I loved that show. My dad's a Vietnam veteran, and we'd watch Tour of Duty, China Beach. This is around the time when those movies like Born on the 4th of July, what was another one? Platoon. These movies about Vietnam were coming out and, showing what was going on with these guys, what they were going through. And so then all these other shows started popping up. That was around the time my dad was in the community known as Vietnam, with a bunch of other Vietnam veterans, surviving World War II veterans, surviving Korean War veterans. It's just a way for these guys to get together and not feel so alone in their PTSD. To be able to maybe discuss some of these nightmares that they never shared with anyone. Wow, Rubik. Lasers. Yeah, I'm so curious to see what else is going to come about. Anyway, thank you for listening to Inspirado Projecto. There's plenty more where that came from. The time is 6:19 in the p.m. February 4th in the evening. Yächtley Crëw has set up they did sound check. Oh, it's beautiful up here. I'm on the roof of the coach house. You can hear wow, man. It's just wonderful to sit up here. No wonder why Batman would just sit up on the top of these cityscapes and just stare out. Whoa, I'm getting flashbacks of a dream that I had, but I don't really know the exact premise. But I had a flashback. I'm sure that happens to you too. You're sitting there and all of a sudden something happens. Someone says something happens. You do something, all of a sudden, phew, you're brought back to that time when you were in that dream. Smells so good up here. So this is what's interesting. I'm holding in my pocket right now. This represents 2 synchronicities, okay? Remember I was telling you about my friend Mary earlier. Well, so during rehearsals, we had rehearsals the other day. We have another keyboardist, so we're switching off. And plus he's playing some guitar parts. So it's kind of that like dueling piano type of effect. So while we're in rehearsals, the guys are telling him, like, oh, remember to, bring boat shoes. Oh, remember to bring sunglasses. Oh, remember, they're kind of telling him, like, okay. And then I go, oh, and remember to bring 3 crystals, 3 crystals to wear in your pocket. And which was interesting because the day after that, I got a call from my friend Dana, who I haven't talked to in a long time. And now all of a sudden she's heavily into law of attraction. She's heavily into like learning about crystals. She's telling me, she's like, Kurt, I got crystals and I put them outside to charge them and everything. And so it's like she's bringing in all this information to me. It's like she saw The Secret, and she's like, oh my gosh, Kurt, all this stuff that you've been talking to me about through the years, now it's making sense. It's all clicking. And all of a sudden she's like putting all these connections together in her brain of thinking of all these times where she manifested these realities. She's got her husband, curious about this. She's teaching her kids about positive thinking. I mean, it's just phenomenal to see this kind of personality happen for her. My goodness. It's astounding. It's astounding. It's just astounding. She and I have had a lot of synchronicities, and that's one of them. So she's talking about the crystals. I mean, this is a day after I talk about, at rehearsals, I'm talking to our buddy who we're calling Matthew McDonald, talking to him about crystals. Okay, so brings us to tonight, to the coach house. And I get here and I see Mary, just this angelic light. And she showed me her paintings at work. And I'm just like, can I touch these paintings? I love touching the textures. And it smells so good out here. Oh, what does that mean? Spices. Foreign spices. Ooh, it smells so good out here. Wow. So, I'm talking with Mary, and I said, the first time I walked into the coach house, because they're upstairs, there's like these balcony rooms, but in one of the rooms there's a bed. And I told her, I go, wow, that's interesting. Someone could be making babies up there while they're watching a show, because there's that room up there with a bed. Imagine how many times that has happened. Imagine how many kids were conceived at the coach house while watching, let's say, Leonard Skinner or something. Ray Charles is, playing something, and they're up there making babies. So I was talking to her about how, the first time I walked into this place, I thought, wow, wouldn't that be interesting if this used to be if this was a saloon way back in the day of the Westerns. And because it looks like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, come on up to my room, cowboy. Because you go up these stairs. There's a few stairs that go upstairs. And you got these little rooms. So I said, I visited an old West town one time, and I walked into a saloon because that's what it was. She goes, hey, have you ever been to a brothel before? I go, no. She goes, no, not a brothel, but like a, old-time brothel. They used to be a brothel. And I said, you know what? Now that I think of it, I was like in this old West town, and I was about to say in Jerome, in the town Jerome, which is supposed to be the world's most haunted town. And I stayed in the world's most haunted hotel in Jerome, in fact. So I was about to tell her this, and she goes, have you ever been to Jerome? And I go, have I ever been to Jerome? I was just going to tell you that I've been to Jerome. And I just love the fact that here are these synchronicities being documented, and you get to hear them. You get to hear them. Like, that's one of my most exciting... What really is exciting to me is the fact that you who are listening, wherever you are, I know there are some of you living out there in France, some of you living out there in Africa, some of you living out there in Norway. The fact that you are a listener in Norway really tickles me right now. I'm Norwegian. I've yet to get an email from someone who hears the podcast who goes, holy cow, I really resonate with what you're saying. Email me, inspiratoprojecto@gmail.com. Also, if you got an interesting story to tell, go ahead and, and you want to be on the podcast, well, heck, send me an email. If you're into the fringe theory stuff, if you're funny, if you're into improv. By the way, check out on Spotify. If you do, you got to be signed in. That's something I learned. You got to be signed into Spotify, and then you can see the video of the Corporal 13, the interview that I had. It's really interesting. Oh, and you can even widen it. So anyway, I'm talking to Mary, and I go, I was going to tell you about Jerome. She goes, I have a rock from Jerome that I got in Jerome. I go, that's fantastic. She goes, I'm going to give it to you. I said, you're going to give that to me? She goes, yeah. So I'm up there during sound check. She comes up and she hands me this beautifully polished stone. I'm up on the roof here. Let's see, shine the light. And guess what? I'm going to carry this in my pocket. Which, as I'm saying that out loud, that's echoing back to me what I said to Matthew McDonald, the extra keyboardist, back at rehearsals. Basically, I was like, carry 3 crystals in your pockets. This is one big crystal. This is like a rock of, because when I was in Jerome, I stayed at that haunted hotel. And walking in the town, see, this is what I learned, is that the employees who work there live out on the outskirts of that place. They live on the outskirts. They drive in. No one really lives there. I think they said, what do they say? Each day that, the population goes up and down, like by 200 people or something. But it's a small town. And so I was just walking outside during the day, just walking around, and there was sort of like this little, it looked kind of like a little cave area. Oh my gosh. Just, you could feel it. You could just walk through there, and you could feel this strange vibe that's in that area. Baba Booey is up on the roofie. Oh, goodness. I was adding a segment of Inspirado Projecto. I was talking about all the synchronicities that
you were? Hey,
yeah.
We came up just in time for the latest
Pauly Shores and Baba Booey.
Inspirado Projecto.
Oh, yes.
Just like old times, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Don't let us interrupt. Keep going.
So, I was just talking about this rock from Jerome.
Where is Jerome? Is it in California?
Jerome is in California.
It's in Arizona.
It might be Arizona. And it's supposed to be it's known as the world's most haunted town. And I stayed there one time.
My
stayed at that hotel.
Amy went there. She went there and stayed at this.
You know what? And I talked to Amy about that.
Yeah.
Because she was telling me that she went on like a tour of haunted towns or something.
She stayed at the haunted hotel and everything.
And I talked to her and I said, you know what? Did you go to Jerome? She's like, yes. I go, I've been to Jerome.
Is it a ghost town or is it an active town?
It's just known
It's an active town.
Known for being haunted.
And
really?
What I learned is that most of the employees there don't even live in that town. They live outside of town and they come in. So, like, the population fluctuates each day by like 200 people.
Oh.
It's like, today we have 200 more people. Okay, by tonight, there's 200 less. Because they're going back.
Yeah.
But
people actually live there, though.
Yeah, people actually live there, and there are a bunch of lots of different sightings, and they take you all throughout the thing, and they talk about like the history of it, and like, a man's head was crushed here in this service elevator, and a woman was killed in that hallway, and this particular room seems to be the scariest. And they give you these little meters that you can use, these like little electric,
like on Ghostbusters.
Kinda, yeah. Oh, yeah, the big proton pack, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they have a reader that like the guy was like Dan Aykroyd or somebody was going?
There was one of them. That's what it was.
like
Yes.
measuring the amount of
The electricity in the air.
Yeah.
And when it's going, that's when you know that there are there's more activity going on. And so everybody has one of those when you check in. Yeah, everybody's walking around the hallway with these little, EKG or something. I don't know, EKG guns, zapping them around.
I forget what it's called, but there's a word for it.
Yeah, what is
I just
that?
can't remember what it is.
I know there's EVP, which is electronic voice printing or something. That's when you have like the radio, and then it's like, "Hello, Paulie. Hello."
Have you detected any presence since you've been carrying around that rock from? From what are we talking? What's the city called again? Jerome.
Mary gave this to me.
Mary.
Yeah, she works here. See, what's so interesting is that it was so interesting because
The blonde girl works here?
yes.
Oh.
Who works in the office? She paints all the wonderful paintings in the office.
Oh, really?
And so she was telling me about. She's like, "Have you ever been to a brothel?" And I said, "No." She's like, "No, not one of those kinds of brothels, but like in a Western town or something." And I go, "It's so interesting. I was in a Western town one time, and I went into a place, and it felt like a brothel." She goes, "Have you ever been to Jerome?" And I go, "That's where my story was leading." And I was going to say that Western town that I visited was in Jerome. And I'm like, "Of course." Yeah. And she goes, "I have this rock from Jerome." She's like, I'm going to give it to you." And I'm like, "What?" She comes from the office and hands this to me, this fully polished gemstone, I'll call it. So there's like, here we are out here with the smiling moon. Beautiful. That's great, dude. The smiling moon. So that's the way that you charge crystals is some crystals you charge in the moonlight, others you charge in the sunlight.
What? So charging it?
And
What are you charging it with?
Amplifier.
Like, what happens to it when it gets charged?
Well, the idea is that the rocks they hold, they have a there are theories that everything has consciousness, its own version, because it's all just it's all coming from this, it's all blipping in and out of existence. Yeah. So these retain sort of like they retain. They're like a battery of sorts of like consciousness and good vibes. It's an amplifier.
I'm gonna fart over here.
And that's why certain people have certain crystals that do these special things. And there's stones that help you with manifestation. And I'd like to look into seeing what kind of stone this might be. But it was crazy because all day today, what was interesting, earlier this morning I was talking about all the synchronicities that have been happening to me lately. And then what happens? The Uber ride over to Phil's.
Yep.
He picks me up. He goes, "Your name is Kurt?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "The last guy I just dropped off, his name was Kurt. And today's his birthday, and he's 69 years old. And he's never been to California before. Today was his first day."
Wow.
And so he's like, and I gave him a gift. He's like, because I do laser cutting. And I go, "Wow, that's cool. That must be a lot of fun." And he goes, "You know what? You're a good spirit. I'll give you one. A present for you." He's like, "I don't give them to everyone, but I give them." And this is a little USA flag. It's a laser cut. Look how tiny that is. How minuscule that is.
What is it, a magnet or something?
Yeah, there's a magnet on back.
Oh,
and that's
cool.
his. And look how tiny that is, dude.
Yeah,
All the
tiny.
cities in the United States.
So then I go, "Well, I'm going to give you a gift," and I gave him like 5 Yächtley Crëw postcards, and he's like, "Oh, I could laser cut something like that, So I'm going to see how can I utilize this guy."
Cool.
But you did something like this. You did laser cut like that.
No. I've seen it.
It's crazy to think it could go that tiny.
Yeah.
Just that tiny. But it was so amazing. It's like dropped off a Kurt, picked me up, and he just like did a double take. He's like, "Wait, is it the same guy?"
What are the odds?
Right.
What are the odds?
Dude.
Synchronicities.
And then I get here and bam, as soon as I come in, bam, everything.
That's
It's getting stronger and stronger
and
and stronger.
Have you noticed any more synchronicities since you got that rock?
Well, let me think. I bet you one will happen soon. Where's the Orion belt? I need to look at it right now.
Oh, I don't recognize any of these constellations. I'm looking for like the North Star.
Do you have sky view on your phone?
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. It shows you, like you just hold it up, it shows you.
Oh my God, do you have Skyview?
I do, but my phone's downstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll tell you exactly.
That's cool, dude.
And it looks at it from here, and it looks at it like if you were looking down.
Oh my gosh. So it
like,
sees like through the Earth, basically.
And it shows you where the International Space Station is, cruising around.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's pretty cool. Space is amazing.
It is. It totally
because
is.
it's like beyond comprehension. Like, where does it end? It's got to end somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
How does it end?
Right?
It's got to be
crazy.
Are we just a piece of dirt under someone's finger?
That's right. That's right.
You know?
It's just like
we don't know.
You never know.
But you know what? When you die, you probably find out.
Oh yeah.
I think when you die, you find out. They tell you, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
It was all in your head.
It was all in your head.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You wake up, you just fell asleep in a bubble bath,
Yeah.
and you're, whoa, what a crazy dream.
Yeah.
I was in a yacht rock band called Yächtley Crëw.
Oh God! It's huge,
Oh,
guys.
so listen, I'm recording, and this will just be the last segment of my podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir, to our at-home listeners?
Hello, at-home listeners. My name is Kian, new addition to the crew. Happy to be here.
Kean, what are your specialities, would you say?
I would say lighting design and also audio technician.
Very, very good. Very good. And you do a lot of Ableton?
Yeah, I use
Music.
Ableton. Yeah, I use Ableton and DJ and produce my own music on the side and yeah.
Is there a place people can hear your music, like a SoundCloud or something?
Yep, I got a SoundCloud. It's my artist name is Kilo and
Kilo.
Kilo. Yeah, if you want to also look at my name, it's Kian Hamilton. It's probably an easier way to search it.
How do you spell that?
Kian Hamilton, Hamilton, like the play.
Very good.
All right.
Extraordinary. Dude, this is going to go out. It's going to go out into the
I don't
world.
think I could put that on my car.
Any
but
special
it's
things you like to say, Kyle Collada?
funny. Peace and love. Peace and love.
What's the... Any packages will be tossed. Peace and love, peace and love. Do not send me any more mail.
Please do not send me any more Facebook messages.
Peace and love, peace and
Peace
love,
and love,
peace and love.
peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
I think that's going to be some of my new tweets. I've been tweeting a lot more than I ever before. I've just had an influx of ideas, and I'm going, okay, I'm just going to barf it onto Twitter. So I think I'm going to have to do a lot of that, like peace and love, peace and love.
Peace and love, peace and love. God, it's so funny.
Peace and love, peace and love. What are you looking at there, Paulie? Please
I'm just
describe
helping
it.
Chaz out because it's
What are you
dark
looking
down-
at? No, but
that's-
what are you looking at? Describe
it's
it for the
a dark cellar, like dark passageway down to a cellar.
Ooh.
We don't know where it leads
You
to,
just don't know.
but you feel drawn to its presence, and it pulls you down. It sucks you down like a black hole into its entity, down into the depths.
Oh, boy.
Where your soul will be changed forever
Oh, boy.
and ever by yacht rock. It infects your soul and turns you inside out.
It's like tentacles, isn't it? Like a kraken, the great kraken.
Yacht rock kraken.
You know, that'd be great if you did a remake of the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, but it's the Great Kraken Charlie Brown, and it's a yacht rock oriented thing. Where it's the Great Kraken, where it's supposed to be like this mythical creature. You know, he takes the boat out there with the kids, and he's looking for the Great Kraken. That would be good.
That would be good.
One of them is dressed like a pirate, yada yada yada, all the way down the line. All the sailor stereotypes.
Yes.
Pirates.
Wait, so are we still talking about the Peanut
Yacht
gang?
hat.
Like
yeah.
Snoopy.
Oh yeah, you call it the
Charlie-
Great Kraken.
Charlie
yeah, and they
Brown?
look just like those guys, but it's all like yacht rock oriented.
Yeah. I wonder what that would look like on screen.
I did, yeah.
I think it would be good.
Yeah.
Like, what if we got your kids to do the voices?
Yeah.
Christmas time. It'll be like a holiday thing, but on the boat. Christmas time. Christmas. And little Maceo.
Yeah,
can
he
play
played the piano. Yeah.
Cling, clong, clong,
He could be Schultz. Wait, who's the one? Beethoven.
Hey, Schultz, come here.
What's his
hey,
name?
Schultz.
Schultz, the guy that wrote the comic.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that plays piano in the
gosh.
cartoon in the comic? What's his name?
Oh, Bill Bixby.
No, that's not the piano
Oh,
player.
I
in
know the
Charlie-
puppet. The puppet from Sesame Street.
The Charlie
When he
player,
bangs his head on
the Charlie Brown
the
cartoon.
Charlie player. Oh,
The
Linus.
Linus, yeah.
I found out Linus is a
Da
Greek
da
guy.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This roof is gonna fall through.
Oh, boy.
Estimate like is that a nice house?
yeah.
Like I don't know. Like,
Just blame it on Charlie Brown.
I couldn't tell
Just
you
blame
how
it.
that
It's
was
not your
like-
fault.
You
Blame it on Charlie
blockhead.
Brown.
Yeah.
It's yacht rock.
Yacht
Yacht rock, not armchair rock.
No. Don't even think about it.
Don't think about it. No. Don't think about it. Don't.
Boom, boom.
Don't think about it. You're on a roof in San Juan Capistrano. Anything will happen. You never know. Anytime you go to San Juan Capistrano. Charlie Brown said.
It just goes up and up and up.
San Juan Capistrano. Charlie Brown said San Juan Capistrano.
Where is this going? Where is this going?
There could be like a totally unexpected. Charlie Brown said San Juan Capistrano.
San Juan Capistrano.
No.
I mean, those homes are clearly nice.
Charlie Brown
said it, said it, said it.
San Juan Capistrano. Charlie
Brown said it, said it, said it, said it, said it.
Charlie Brown.
Said it and forget it. He said it, said it, he said it and forget it. San Juan Capistrano.
Where the swallows come to
He said it, he said it. He said it, please don't cry. Charlie Brown, I heard him say it. He said it, he said it. Yes, Charlie Brown said it. San Juan Capistrano. He said it, yes, he said it. Charlie Brown, he said it. San Juan Capistrano.
On the roof of the
He said it, yes, he said it. He said it. He said it. He said it, yes, he said it. Charlie Brown said
You blockhead.
it. He said it. He said it. He said it. Yes, he said it. San Juan Capistrano. Said it. Yes, he said it. He said it and forget it. Charlie Brown said it. He said it. He said it. He said it. Then he forget it. San Juan Capistrano. He said it. He said it. Yeah, I heard him say it. He said it. Yes, he said it. Then guess what? He forgot it. San Juan Capistrano.
You blockhead. You blockhead.
He said it. He said it. He said it.
And
He
forget
said
it.
Charlie Brown
You'll
tried
never
to kick
know.
his football. Then he fell down. Yes,
And
he fell
Linus
down.
and
She
the
took
Lucy.
it right away from him.
don't
Charlie
know.
Brown
Why?
kicked the
Or where? Or
football.
when? Or
He
when?
almost kicked the football, but she pulled it way at the last minute.
Fell on his butt.
San Juan Strano. He said it and he forgot it. Then he said it. Then he said it. Then he said it. Then he forgot it. Then he said it. Then he forgot it.
And he said it.
San Juan Capistrano. He said it. He said it. Yes, I heard him say it.
Hi, this is Steve Peters, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto.